says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving?
Tommy Tuberville, he's a former football coach. And again, damn it, if y'all send your kids, those of you with world-class athletes, and keep them in this sharecropping type of mentality, sending them to places with coaches like John Gruden and others who don't give a damn about your children. They only care about winning, and they'll only use their black bodies to get championships and titles, and don't care about their CTEs, and don't care about their cartilage or their grades or their brains or their humanity. Don't care nothing about those bodies unless they're out there winning championships for them. If we don't stop doing that, thank you, affirmative action. That should be like, oh, that's the lightning rod. Okay, let's not send our children there anymore. You don't get to build billion-dollar industries in these colleges off the backs of these black athletes. Now, you're going to have a Herschel Walker every now and then, or maybe even a Charles Barkley, I said it, who, they don't know who they are, and they're just so happy to be there on the plantation. They're just so happy. The masses just showed them some light. I just love to be seen, and they treat me so nice. They treat me so nice. They're only treating you nice because you can give them something that they can't get on their own, but you don't value yourself enough to understand that, hey, Clarence Thomas, and all the other things, or whatever the vindictive thing that drives you to want to have that kind of favor. But Tommy Tuberville is now in the Senate in Alabama. He made it all the way to the Senate because he won championships, because we value that as if he was on the damn field. He can't run a single down. I don't think he can throw a ball, but somehow he's a national treasure in Alabama, y'all. And he's ignorant and dumb, which are two different things, by the way. Dumb is an IQ thing, right? Dumb is your capacity to know, to learn. You don't have it, right? Deaf and dumb, two different things, by the way, being deaf and dumb, but they usually put it together. Usually if you say dumb is like you can't speak, but it's even deeper than that, right? So when I say dumb, I'm talking about somebody's intellectual capacity, not their inability to speak, period. That's something else, right? He's dumb and he's ignorant. So ignorance can be fixed. I'm not sure if dumbness can be. I think that might be a genetic default or defect. I think Tommy Tuberville is genetically defected. He's dumb and also ignorant. Two things can be true. Now, some people walking around just ignorant. Ignorance can be fixed, but it's willful, right? You have to want to learn. You have to seek after it. You may have the capacity to, but you just don't have the discipline or the wherewithal to actually sit down and educate yourself. Or go to school to get educated and be challenged and rub up against people who you may agree with or disagree with, just to get that. It's a muscle, right? Those of you who are runners, those of you who work out, the more you use and exercise a muscle, the better it gets. I was going through this before I got my knees replaced, and I was talking with people, and they were like, motion is lotion. So you may have bad knees and they're creaky, but keep walking, walk through the pain. It will lubricate. And I was like, nah, this bone on bone's not working. But yeah, I walk every day because motion is lotion, and you get better. When you weight train, you get better. It's the same with your brain, right? So the more you read, the more you engage in this kind of dialogue, which is why I think Urban View is so amazing and dope, because you're going to have these conversations with yourself in your car. You're going to have these conversations with yourself walking around with the earbuds. You're going to have this conversation as you sit at your desk with the earbuds in, pretending to work, but you're actually listening, and you're having these conversations maybe with your neighbors at the job. Maybe a couple of y'all are listening together, y'all giving each other the head nod where they don't know that y'all listening. But this is how you fix ignorance, right? Through truth and facts and being immersed in it and seeking it. But Tommy Tuberville, I don't think, has the ability because he's also dumb. But he's in Congress. He's in the Senate making laws and preventing things from happening because he's dumb. Withholding military appointments over abortion rights. Stupid. Like you, but at the same time, you care about the military. So you're also a hypocrite. And you also call yourself a Christian, but you don't care about human beings. You're like all of the things that are wrong with the world, Tommy Tuberville, but you got elected. So it's hard. It's really hard to have this conversation because a lot of people showed up to vote for him. He won in a landslide, right, Smith? Let's find the numbers, but he won roundly. So he was challenged by Caitlin Collins, who didn't do a good job challenging Donald Trump. I don't know why she's still out there asking questions. I don't know why she still has a platform to ask questions, somebody likes her. This has nothing to do with talent or abilities or competency. I said it. Y'all can at me. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But she did challenge him on this because I feel like she caught so much heat from just letting Trump say any old damn thing just because the crowd, she was just overwhelmed and not ready for that. So she was interviewing Tommy Tuberville. And you ready to play this, Miss? Let's play it.
Conservatives, Democrats, whoever wants to be in the military to fight for this country, to protect this country. That's what it's all about.
But just to be clear, you agree that white nationalists should not be serving in the U.S. military. Is that what you're saying?
If people think that a white nationalist is a racist, I agree with that. I agree they should.
A white nationalist is someone who believes that the white race is superior to other races.
Well, that's some people's opinion. And I don't think, I mean, a lot. Pardon?
What's your opinion?
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call them white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now, if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do because I am 110% against racism.
Oh, wow.
But I want somebody that's in our military, that's strong, that believes in this country. That's an American that will fight along anybody, whether it's a man or woman, black or white, red, it doesn't make any difference. And so I'm totally against identity politics. I think it's ruining this country. And I think that Democrats ought to be ashamed for how they're doing this because it's dividing this country and it's making this country weaker every day.
But that's not identity politics. You said a white nationalist is an American.
It is identity politics.
You said a white nationalist is an American, but a white nationalist is someone who believes horrific things. Do you really think that's someone who should be serving in the military?
Well, that's just a name that it's been given. I mean,
it's not.
Listen,
it's a real definition. There's real concerns
so if
about
you're going to do away
extremism.
with most white people in this country out of the military, we got huge problems.
It's not.
We
it's
got
not.
huge problems.
It's not people who are white. It's white nationalists.
Oh my God.
That have a few probably
You see the
different
distinction,
beliefs,
right?
that have different beliefs. Now, if racism is one of those beliefs, I'm totally against it. I am totally against racism.
Just man. See, I called them dumb, but I had to just prove it, because I don't want to be on these airwaves just saying things. I need to have the veracity to back up the things that come out of my mouth and be proven wrong, but not in this case. Thank you, Tommy Tuberville. First of all, you cannot have 110% of anything. So your math skills are definitely in question. A white nationalist is an American. I feel like he said the quiet part out loud. I feel like he was saying something that was signaling something. White nationalists that's his definition of an American. He's saying something to y'all. Then he's calling it identity politics that the Democrats are fomenting. That he didn't use that word because I don't know if he can even spell it, but it's the Democrats pushing identity politics. And then he said something, they just want to give it a name. And he said, this is the part that I think we need to pay attention to. Well, if you just want to get rid of white people, you're going to be hearing that a lot leading up to elections. This is going to be the rallying cry. And I'm going to encourage people to not take the bait, because then you're going to have to answer to, we're not trying to get rid of white people. That's ridiculous, right? And you don't answer ridiculousness, but you need to process the whole push is to get people who identify as white afraid that they're being erased and afraid that they're being eliminated and that somehow there is a war on white people. That's the push, and it's effective as F. And every time you see in 2042, it's going to be majority minority, which means white people are going to be erased. Like that's the next sentence, right? White people are diminishing. White people are going away, and it's the Democrats, and it's identity politics. And how do we fight that? So now you got the daughters of Liberty, daughters of liberty, moms for liberty, daughters of the Confederacy. You can call it whatever. It's the same thing, right? Which is why it was so easy for them to pop up and then have, divisions all over the country really quickly and funding, because it's just Daughters of the Confederacy is now Moms for Liberty. It's the same because they have a blueprint, right? They have a strategy blueprint that they can bring out every 20 years, or actually they never put it away. They just bring out different iterations of it, call it something different, to tweak the names a little bit. And then they just go with strategy. And the strategy is we got to get white people who are identified as white, which now keeps expanding, not contracting as much. So it started with just, the British people, and then they let the Irish in because they were like, these indentured Irish and these Africans that we brought over here are really chummy. And they're having babies and they're like, oh, they're fighting us. Okay, stop it. You're now white, and then you police these black bodies, and we're going to give you a little copper star, and we're going to make you patty rollers and overseers. Here's a whip. Now you have power, and your power is in your white skin. Now you may not eat, and we probably ain't going to give you because we don't have to pay these black people, but then we're also going to say, they're taking your jobs. It started then, right? Look at these Africans. They're coming here taking your jobs. If not for them, you would be so much better off, but we're going to give you some power to lord over them because you're now white. Come on in, Irish. Oh, the Italians coming in through the Ellis Island, these N words, because they were called that, right? They were called all kinds of things. So these Italians are coming, here they come. Ah, shoot. Okay, wait a minute though. Wait, the Great Migration. Wait a minute. Okay, you Italians, you're now white. Okay. And these M words, not the N words, the M words are the problem. Look at them, the ghettos, this and that. They're stealing your drugs, your prostitution and all that. Come on, that's your enemy. Look at them taking your jobs. You're now white. Come on in. Oh, I don't have to be this. So the signs, no blacks, no Italian. That you're all taking that down. Yup. You're now white. It's just no N words and maybe no Jews. Gotta keep that going just in case, because we can't let them get out of hand. This has been the blueprint, right? So now you expand it to the Spanish speaking people with, various degrees of melanin. You got people darker than me who will check white on a census every time and tell all the children to check white because don't nobody want to be black, right? So this has been, you want to talk about identity politics. It doesn't get better than that. And it's effective because now you have to argue for your humanity at every turn. It's a lot of energy to put into something that you just have, right? So as long as they have you on the defense, arguing your humanity, we always lose. I think, again, I'm coming up with something, Party of Lincoln. I tried that a few years ago. Didn't work. Still a great strategy. Somebody's tried to co-opt it. So I'm abundant. What if we do Fathers for Liberty? Can we come up with, because I want liberty. Don't you want liberty? Liberty is a great thing. Fathers for Liberty, sons for liberty. They got moms for liberty, daughters for liberty. Let's start taking some names and confusing, let's start doing something and then having a blueprint for what that looks like. It's running for office locally. It's all of us voting for the same person locally, getting on the same page. Stop all of this dividing and letting ourselves be conquered. It's a strategy that's political. It's a strategy that is around fundraising, and it's also about reimagining. Let's make America America. Let's put the U in the USA. Because aren't we all one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all? That Constitution's amazing. Let's adopt the Constitution. Let's put the Constitution on a flag. Let's fly a flag. See, if y'all really about that life, that's how you get nasty. But we're emotional, so I can't do that because that would make it real interesting, because now you're going to have to tell me why I'm not an American. See, you're telling me white nationalists are American. Well, I am a father of liberty. And I believe in the Constitution, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. I hold these words to be self-evident that all men are created equal. We should know these words. We should know these words and be able to spit them and then codify them in a whole game plan to reclaim the liberty of America.
fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one